Ladies and gentlemen of the beautiful crypto world, today marks as a piece of history. Well, realistically, so does any day, because at some point it'll be tomorrow, and yesterday will be history. But I primarily meant it in the sense of us getting ourselves some beautifully and well-deserved ETFs. And I'm not talking about some of those stupid Bitcoin ones no more. No, ladies and gentlemen. We just got ourselves the official Ethereum ETFs. And you're probably excited to hear what the numbers are, and so I got you. I'll tell you. And I think it's quite shocking, but let's first start off by saying that Bitcoin had some very interesting numbers here as well. Why? Well, because the last few days, we actually had $400 million plus worth of inflows, with BlackRock having perhaps one of the craziest days at plus $526 million. So some record-breaking numbers here, with the price also being quite exciting. However, yesterday, the price obviously went down ever so slightly from 68 to 65 point something, right now sitting at 66.4. And perhaps that was slightly because BlackRock did not have that many inflows and the others had outflows. Now, one suggestion as to why that was happening was because of the Ethereum ETFs. Right now, as it's stated, the Ethereum ETFs reached over $1 billion worth of trading volume on the first day. So it was really good. People got excited about it. Take a look. The first day of trading for Ethereum ETFs saw a total volume of over 1 billion. However, it only saw inflows of roughly 106 million. Why? Well, because there was a ton of selling pressure as well. This performance, while significant, was notably less than the first day of Bitcoin ETFs. The Ethereum ETFs experienced a substantial outflow from the Grayscale Ethereum Trust, amounting to $484 million, right? To get to this number, obviously, since there was over $1 billion worth of volume, they had pretty significant inflows, but with also very significant outflows. Just looking at this, for example, we would have had $600 million worth of inflow, $480 million out to get to the roughly $106 million in net inflow. Despite this, the overall inflow was positive, indicating strong institutional interest and potential for long-term growth in the Ethereum market. While taking a look at the full numbers of it all, it's actually quite interesting how Grayscale was such a dominant player. And also, call me stupid, but from the way this little chart graph is given, table actually, is given right here, it's quite confusing. I would say that total volume, denominated in millions of dollars, should always be larger than whatever flow is there, right? Because if the total volume was whatever, $800 million, it'll still be logical to have whatever, minus 400 million, perhaps, because just again, the inflows and outflows offset each other. But I'm not exactly 1,000% sure how the volume can be lower than the total flow, but perhaps that's just me taking a too quick of a look at all this. Again, how can you end up with plus $204 million worth of inflow, basically? So a net flow of plus 200 mil when there was only $100 million not even traded. Again, the opposite would be pretty easy. If there's $1 billion traded, but the end total flow was only like plus 100 mil, I understand. But the other way around, if you know why, let me know in the comments section. I'd like to figure this out. But there was something else that was quite massive, if you ask me. And I should, by the way, I should put my little face on the opposite side because I'm looking that way again. But I'd say it's okay for right now. Bitcoin is lighting up the Las Vegas sphere. We'll just take a little bit of a look at this 15-second clip, as it's nothing too fancy, nothing too special, but it's apparently the first cryptocurrency to get itself a spot on there. And in my opinion, this is pretty massive because this will be seen by a lot of people, but also shows the power. And ultimately, I don't think that will pump the price at all, nor is it something we should talk about for hours. I guess it's just setting a precedent for what's about to come. These ads are quite little in comparison to how massive things are going to get. But a question should again become, does something like a Bitcoin need ads? Because I guess those words from guys like Larry Fink, etc. are the best of ads we could ever need. Him saying, oh, people definitely need to have this in their portfolio for this and that and this and that reason, I think is way more valuable than just not having an ad in the traditional sense, but having a awareness campaign sort of, but putting Bitcoin everywhere. I think people will find it on their own at some point. A little side story. You know that XRP, for the most part, has been trading within a range. And the only thing I actually want to say about that is, everybody, if you've been holding XRP for a while, just know that nothing has happened in too long. But the moment that something starts going, it'll most likely go pretty crazy and in a pretty wild fashion. I know I've been saying that for a while, but it's also because it's very much the truth, and it's one of the unique qualities that usually make XRP garbage for people to look at because the price just does nothing, but it also makes it beautiful because it's just so fast moving. I'll be one of the first to admit that if you've been holding XRP for a while, yes, it might feel kind of annoying to just see your price not going up too much, but just remember that usually with XRP, it moves really fast all of a sudden. I should add, one more thing that happened just now is that Mt. Gox again today moved $2.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. On July 24th, Mt. Gox, a crypto exchange, transferred 37,000 Bitcoin to an unknown address as part of a series of transfers totaling 52,000 Bitcoin since July 5th. That's a lot. These transactions are part of a planned distribution to repay its creditors. The funds have been moved to various crypto exchanges, Bitstamp, Kraken, BitBank, to name a few, with a significant portion also being transferred to a new wallet address. This activity has sparked discussions and speculation within the crypto community, but I just find it all quite bullish. The more that Mt. Gox sells out and pays or sends out and pays their customers that lost their funds, the more we're over with this potential selling pressure. Now, I know those clients may not even sell, but the idea that they could get their funds and sell immediately is leaving a lot of people worried. And the fact that getting it quickly, or at least quicker, or right now, in my opinion, is more exciting rather than bad. Something else that's quite notable in my opinion, just something kind of funny. Apparently, Ferrari is extending their crypto payment systems to Europe after US launch in countries where crypto are legally accepted. Kind of weird wording here, but I guess, the acceptance of this crypto stuff is also still increasing, even though we don't actually read as much about that anymore. Like before, some years back, it used to be, oh, this outlet is now accepting Bitcoin or crypto, whatever. Wow, yeah, let's all party, yeah. And now it seems like nobody cares because you have all these middlemen that already allow you to facilitate the transfer, where you pay the middleman pays the acceptor, the vendor, whatever. And we noticed that the whole Bitcoin settlement, it's kind of dog shit. Let's be real. If you're standing in front of somebody, you're like, hey man, I want to, buy something quick. Just like, hey, I want to get this and let's go out. It's like, oh, sure. Wait like 25 minutes to make sure that it's really confirmed. It's not that feasible. I mean, if you're buying a car, for example, you have to wait like half an hour. Ain't that big a deal. So in this instance, it does make sense. If you're going to Ferrari, I don't think you want to be out there within like 7 minutes. I mean, if you've ever done a bank transfer, sometimes it can actually take a little bit of time for them to confirm things as well, especially if it's a larger payment. It's just for the smaller things. But I guess, even though the small things in life matter, right? Talking about you, because they add up, right? If you have so many small things, it does end up being something quite significant. And the only additional news I could give you, sometimes technology scares me. I don't know what exactly went off. I'm not sure if it's the iPad or the phone or another phone. But I wanted to say, it's about politics for the most part. People right now are speculating now that Biden dropped out. What's going to happen to guys like Gary Gensler, all these corrupt folk? And how is that going to look, for example, the Ripple lawsuit, for other crypto lawsuits, and for like the status with Ethereum staking in right now the ETFs, etc. And I really, really wonder about that. I really do. I think as Trump comes in, and people in the comment section like to say, Dusty, you're just a stupid Trump supporter. I ain't supporting nobody. If I had to pick a side between Biden and Trump, I thought that Trump would be better for crypto. And now that Biden is out, I still stand by that. And let me just say this. The next few months when it comes to crypto will be so interesting because I think Kamala and the defining parties are going to all have their very contrasting stances on crypto, with Trump being really, really pro and the rest being probably really against it. And that will also determine who, for example, the new chair of the SEC may be. And that will also determine how annoying the next few years of crypto lawsuits are going to be. And perhaps many just get thrown out and staking is allowed and just massive adoption comes quicker because of the regulatory side. On the opposite end, promises all the time, right? But actions, almost none. So even if all these guys are being so positive towards it, maybe ultimately they won't be. Then again, for how we know Trump, if they can keep the innovation within America, always like Ripple suggested of saying, hey, you know what? This crypto stuff is going to keep developing. Why give it over to China and other countries when we can also do it here? I do think that rings a bell with guys like Trump who are really business oriented. Because even if you hate it, right, you'd rather have it right here so you can make tax dollars off of it than have it somewhere outside when you know it's going to get done anyway. And some countries are against it principally But I think America is the country of money. I don't think any principles matter when it's about money to them. But maybe it's just me. I don't think the IRS plays games though. But yeah. Anyway, those are the most interesting ones. I saw some other articles. Unbound Fund offers a new path to EU citizenship with a Bitcoin investment. So apparently, right here it says if you're holding about, or indirectly, holding about €500,000 worth of Bitcoin, you might be able to get yourself a Portuguese/EU citizenship. Again, very unfortunate that most people don't have this kind of money that want to get themselves a citizenship. But the fact that it's possible is quite cool, perhaps. How? Don't know, don't care. You'll figure it out on your own. I just wanted to say that that just popped up, and I thought it was quite interesting. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I think that, in terms of the news for today, is about it. Those are the most important pieces of today. And I'll see you all again in another crypto video, most likely somewhere later today. Let me know down below what type of update you'd like to see.